if you have education, you can face anyone on the planet Earth. My house was destroyed by a mortar. And then my mother was crying. And my father said, don't cry. I have educated them, all of them, so they will do well.
ข้าพเจ้าเป็นลูกชาวนาพ่อแม่ก็บ่ฮู้หนังสือแต่ย้อนการศึกษาพาให้ข้าพเจ้าได้มีวิธีงานทำและสามารถเข้าสู่เวทีการเมืองได้แล้วก็ก้าวมาเป็นรัฐมนตรีศึกษาได้
UNESCO is the lead agency for education for all, which is the second Millennium Development Goal.
My country has only 10 years old. We have around 60% of our population still illiterate. We are now trying to make sure that by 2015, illiteracy could be eradicated in my country.
We need to do more for education. It's not a matter of privilege. It should be the right for all people to not only be educated, but also to acquire knowledge.
It's important not just for the development of the individual, but also for the development of the nation.
ผมจบการศึกษาในระดับประถมศึกษาในชนบทนะครับและแน่นอนไม่มีเครื่องมืออื่นใดที่จะเปลี่ยนแปลงคนให้คนได้พัฒนาและมีความเจริญงามมีแต่เรื่องการศึกษาเท่านั้นจะเป็นเครื่องมือที่สำคัญนะครับ
Why everybody have the right to education? Because that's the only way to ensure everyone have a better life.
Education for all
is a human right.
It is our responsibility.
Welcome back to Asean Newsroom, and here are the economic news. Dusit International is re-entering the North American hotel market with the opening of the Dusit D2 Pasadena near Los Angeles. Dusit will manage the 136-room hotel, which is in the commercial and financial district of Pasadena, California. The target is leisure and business travelers from across the continent. After extensive renovations and refits, the property is expected to open by the third quarter next year as part of Singapore Pacific's downtown development with offices, retail space, and restaurants. Chanin Tonawanik, chief executive of Dusit International, said yesterday that the group's return to North America marked a milestone in its overseas penetration. The group has set a strategy to invest and manage hotels and resorts in many countries around the world through multiple brands while lowering its new presence in the domestic market. In 1990, Melrose Investment Partnership was set up with a registered capital of $5 million. Dusit Thani Delaware, a wholly owned subsidiary, owned 16% of the partnership, and the rest was held by Sinama's Ito Tokyo and an Indonesian investor. The hotel was eventually sold because of a shareholder conflict, and Dusit has been absent in the U.S. ever since. The Dusit D2 brand started with the Dusit D2 Chiang Mai and added the Dusit D2 Barakwada Pattaya. In its quest to internationalize the brand, Dusit International will introduce Dusit D2 hotels in New Delhi next year and in other major getaway cities across the world. Kin Hui, CEO of Singapore Pacifica, said the Dusit D2 brand would help bring the next generation of hospitality experience to Pasadena and the Los Angeles region. The word Pasadena means valley in the Ojibwa language, but it has been interpreted to mean crown of the valley and key of the valley. A dynamic city centered in Southern California, Pasadena City is a city of discovery, from dining and shopping to theater and art galleries.
Thai Airways is on course to modernize its fleet with the acquisition of 37 aircrafts through purchase and lease at a value of 118.6 billion baht. In a plan approved by the board of directors, the airline said the new aircrafts would be delivered from this year through 2017. Among the planes will be 6 Boeing 777-300ERs, 4 Airbus A350-900s, and 5 A320-200s. There are a mixture of passengers and cargo aircrafts. Thai said in a filing to the Stock Exchange of Thailand that through the plan, its fleet would be modernized and become more efficient and safe to support the extension of its network. Thai now operates a mixed fleet of nearly 90 aircrafts with an average age of 12 years. Amid fiercer competition, particularly from low-cost airlines, it needs newer aircrafts to lure travelers, it said. In addition, the acquisition of new lightweight aircrafts with non-corrosive materials to replace retiring aircrafts will save fuel and maintenance costs. This will also reduce carbon emission as required by the European Union. The company expects to generate high profits with continuous growth and a strong financial position and maintain its market share. In addition, it will allow the company to be among the top 3 airlines in Asia and top 5 in the world, both in terms of quality and service efficiency.
ASEAN and China will consider the sanitary and phytosanitary measures, technical barriers to trade, and custom procedures as they revise their free trade agreement after implementation for 8 years. After participating in the 38th ASEAN-China meeting during June the 8th to June the 11th, from Wednesday to Saturday last week, Siyorat Ratthapana, Director General of the Trade Negotiations Department, said ASEAN and China had agreed to revise the FTA to make it up-to-date and increase market access for the private sector. After being in effect for almost a decade, some regulations and agreements may need to be revised to make the pact more efficient. ASEAN and Chinese officials will include SPS and TBT and customs issues in the revision talks. Siyorat said that the revisions would increase trade and investment under the Comprehensive Pact, as well as increase protection for consumer health, given rising concerns over sanitary problems and non-tariff barriers. ASEAN-China trade is expected to increase continuously after lower tariffs and closer cooperation to eliminate non-tariff barriers. According to the department, trade between ASEAN and China is targeted to grow from $290 billion last year to $500 billion in the next 5 years. Two-way trade between Thailand and China is also expected to grow to $50 billion this year from $45.7 billion in 2010. Currently, only 63% of Thai exporters trade under the ASEAN-China FTA. The department expects that more enterprises will benefit from the planned revisions. The ASEAN-China FTA has been in force since 2004. However, it has been under discussions for almost a decade. Meanwhile, the department plans to sign a memorandum of understanding with the Education Ministry on including lessons on the ASEAN economic community and regional integration in schools and universities to increase awareness of younger generations about the ASEAN integration that will come into effect in 2015.